My name is Chris Mansky. I'm originally from Manitoba. I'm now here at Blue Beach, Nova Scotia, where we have the earliest land animals that ever walked from water onto land. And I'd like to introduce you to the owner of the Blue Beach Fossil Museum, my wife Sonia.
Hey, how are you? Well, thanks for coming here today. We're grateful to have you here and at our little museum. Blue Beach is a world-class fossil site, and so what you're going to see within this small museum really should be in a large facility and a proper storage museum with all the bells and whistles and monuments and great excitement. So what you're going to hear about today are the 350 million year old fossils that are found at Blue Beach. Nowhere else in the world does this collection show up. And our talk today is really going to focus more on the business side, even though we've got the world's most famous fossil collection right now, and the mission to build the new Paleo Center. Concept.
One of the exciting things at Blue Beach are the footprints and trackways of the earliest tetrapods, or the first creatures with limbs to walk from the water and go on land. And we have numerous examples of 350 million year old footprints and walking trails. This is one with the hind foot, the front foot on the right side, the hind foot, the front foot under here on the left, another right foot from the hind, a nice little tail drag. This is 350 million year old evidence of creatures in Nova Scotia. The second oldest collection of footprints is 1,000 miles from here and 20 million years later in time. These are 350 million years old. The rest are 330 or younger. And so this is essentially a very privileged early sneak preview. And they are found on Blue Beach and only on Blue Beach. So we'll take you over here where we keep most of the display specimens for the collection. We're only able to house approximately 50 specimens for display. We can only show some highlights from what we've collected. This site is incredibly rich in these footprints, and we've collected over 2,000 examples. So the fossils from this beach have outgrown their home. And it's a very exciting assemblage showing us that life has already diversified into a minimum of five kinds of animals. Some had long toes and claws, some were short digits and probably very competent swimmers. Others appear to have possibly been living full-time on land. And these are all extreme mysteries. The million-dollar question at Blue Beach is who made the tracks? And science has yet to uncover all the secrets from what we call Romer's Gap. So I'll take you over here and show you a little of...
Here's Sonia Wood.
Here, Romer's Gap.
So they are currently making us do a virtual visit, and we invite everyone to come at the Blue Beach Fossil Museum. And as I'm thinking about it, they were both saying to me that the main objective of our visit, as Sonia mentioned, is that they're wanting to make this place a paleo center.
Follow me over here. I want to show you. We have a...
Sure.
We've worked through quite a project to develop the land that's here at Blue Beach.
Right.
Our mission is to build about an $8 to $10 million.
$8 to $10 million.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you help me with this? Yeah, we both can hold it. That
Oh,
would be
this
great.
this is what.
This is a rendition of what our goal is here.
Right.
Because this is a world-class fossil site, as I mentioned earlier, we have worked through a process with the municipality and the province, and subdivided a portion of my property here, 5 acres, in order to build this beautiful new Paleo Center. The fossils, again, as I mentioned earlier, show up nowhere else except for here at Blue Beach. So, and we've got the world's top experts coming here to look at this collection. We've got about 90 tons of rock with new fossil research information. We're opening up about 100 years of research, but we have no facility. We've got this little building that you folks are coming here to see us in, and we do have some of the fine collection out for people to look at and to validate the site, but the target is to build this. These fossils should be in a wonderful facility with a proper lab, and an exciting display area with monuments and kids screaming at the big fish and the tetrapods and such. We want to see a beautiful science store with a nice restaurant. And then behind this, we're sitting on the fastest and the highest rising tides in the world on the Bay of Fundy with this amazing fossil shoreline and a Lagerstadt or a cornucopia of fossils here. So this site is very suited for a brand new facility. In fact, today I had one of our colleagues ask me, why are we not going after UNESCO here?
Okay.
And it was said once, maybe we opened the wrong museum first in the province when they started to catch on to Blue Beach.
So we've just heard...
We need $2 million to kick this project off.
Okay, so this is definitely a Kickstarter of 2 million,
Yes.
and preferably within the range of 8 to 10 million, then we would definitely have something decent. Now, when you were talking about UNESCO,
Yes.
this should be recognized as a UNESCO site?
Well, we have people, actually quite a few people who ask us why it isn't.
Okay.
We don't know if we need to have that recognition yet.
Okay.
A geopark or a monumental site, perhaps.
Okay.
Even. But the thing is in order to even meet the standards of UNESCO, we have to have this facility in place. We're
Very
not gonna
true.
See this
Very
with our
true.
little small museum that I have put together here.
Yes.
To welcome people from all over the world. We are number one. The number one target site in Nova Scotia for
Okay.
any rock hounding, fossil hunting. It could be pouring rain and our parking lot is full down there. We've been, every day this summer, we are just inundated by people
Okay.
coming from all over the world to see the fossil site here.
Okay. And when it comes to fees for a family to come to visit, how much is it? What is the cover charge to get in?
Well, unfortunately here, we'd
Yes.
love to be able to have a cover charge.
Well,
but
yes.
Because Chris and I are volunteers.
Right.
Our mission is to see this done.
Okay.
We believe it's the right thing to do.
Okay.
I have put myself into a very serious financial pit
Okay.
to build this world-class site.
Right.
People come here, we ask that they make a donation.
Donations? Okay.
And that doesn't really feed us well.
So
But
great
it is very
donations,
important.
great monetary donations are highly appreciated. Okay,
Yes,
thank
yes.
you.
Also,
yes.
We formed a non-for-profit society, the Blue Beach Fossil Museum Society, which is a Canadian registered charity. If you would like to make donations, large donations, small donations, any donation over $25 to the society,
Right.
we will send you out a charity tax receipt upon
Right.
request. Also, keep in mind, whoever builds this baby gets their name on the building.
Yes.
Also, whoever wants to kickstart funding in here, maybe their name will be on the trail. We've got an amazing trail with an old growth forest. We have one of the last remaining freshwater saltwater marshes here on the Bay of Fundy. We're right on the fastest and the highest rising tides in the world.
Okay.
We have, of course, the 350 million year old fossil site, the Lagerstadt,
Right.
that's not seen anywhere else in the world. We have the world's, or the second largest migration of shorebirds here. In the Minas Basin. So we have everything that is worth seeing here, right here at Blue Beach, Nova Scotia. And it's deserving this fossil facility. Paleo Center.
Well, thank you very much. This is the very first part of our tour. And we would like to thank very much Sonia, because we are kickstarting this campaign for sure.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chris Mansky, citizen scientist, curator of the Blue Beach Fossil Museum. Something has happened very much like Blue Beach before. In New Mexico, there was a discovery by a fellow who wasn't from the area, and he came in under the very noses of all the local professors and experts and geologists, and he discovered footprint fossils in the mountains of the Robledos. In the Robledos mountain fossil footprint site, he recognized was so important that he dedicated 4 years of his time to excavating and carrying away tons and tons of fossil footprints dating to about 290 million years of age. At first, the local politicians scoffed him. At first, he was called a charlatan, and the local universities and geology experts said, he's not really got anything important. And this would happen, he found out, anywhere you went. If you came in and made them jealous by discovering something right under your noses, it's a often repeated story. In your immediate vicinity, you are ridiculed, and your true acclamation comes from people internationally and further away. So while the Smithsonian Institute experts said, yes, his tracks are every bit as important as he says, it took years of resistance before somebody in the area of New Mexico where he was got it. And once this was understood at the political level, an act of US Congress declared the Robledo Mountains fossil site a trackways monument of the United States of America. And I'm ashamed to say it only took 6 years in the United States. And in Canada, we have waited 16 years for this development at Blue Beach. And for all of the attributes that New Mexico can brag, Blue Beach has the same story, only better. Ours are the oldest footprints on Earth, and we have something they never even dreamed of. We have the skeletons to go with them. So Blue Beach and its attributes clearly demonstrate a need for this to be recognized as a national treasure, and it should be considered a special designate from a federal level, and something that we need to build a visitor center for. Also, these fossils need a new home.
This is a paramount.
Thank you very much. I purposely made sure here you'll have you won't be squished. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
There you go. All
Can
right.
you see us?
So, everybody, welcome. It is with oh, just a second here. That will help me even further. There you go. As long as we're the four of us. All right. Everybody, we would like to welcome you to the Blue Beach Fossil Museum. This site is, I'm going to say, just like numerous places within Nova Scotia. Coming from Quebec and Ontario, just like my friend here, you know what? This place deserves to be spoken about, to be spreaded about. This place is located right next to an icon called Cape Blomidon, and yet we don't hear about it much. As the president and CEO of SteveTV, this is what I'm going to tell you. We're starting today, this campaign, to reach between $8 to $10 million. This beautiful place is an icon. It's full of rich history. It's a world-class museum, and they keep on finding the most beautiful, amazing fossils that you could have ever seen. Ever since I've stepped here today to do this press conference, I was so amazed because I saw artifacts, fossils,
Fossils, yeah.
They know more about this than
350 million year old fossils.
350 million year old fossils. And as he was explaining to me, he said, not only when they started this 15 years ago, it has never been recognized by the province of Nova Scotia as a a world-class place. It definitely has all the ingredients to be recognized just like a UNESCO site. Not only the trees in this province and the mountain in this province and the lighthouses that we have, just like Peggy's Cove, are important, fossils are also important because they're part of the history of this world. So the more we better understand them, the better it is. And I am sure our Vice President Operations here, Carleen Chasson, who is the queen now within Nova Scotia for the luxurious homes, I'm sure she has a few words that she wants to deliver to talk about the value of this place. Because there's a lot of houses that we just saw on our way to come here that are quite valuable.
Yes, Steve, it's a very, very nice place, and we're very excited to be here and to see what this place has to offer. We definitely see the potential of and a demand for a bigger museum, and wholeheartedly believe in the construction of a new site. So we're very excited to start a fundraiser and to help out in any way that we can. Yes.
So we're going to not only put the emphasis on inviting even more scientists, and I'm going to say starting today later on, we're going to start a fundraiser on the internet. And I will say we're inviting all the people that we know from our affiliated stations within British Columbia, Alberta, Manitoba, he's from Manitoba, Ontario as well, New Brunswick, PEI, everywhere. And we're going to tell you this. I not only look forward to one day coming back to this place and seeing a Steve TV studio, actually the one from the Valley, Steve TV Valley, that will be established in here. You know why? Because we deserve to show more that values. Did I say that? Yes. Even if people seem to be scared to show Nova Scotia, more than just, the lighthouses and so on, but those fossils. So we will be showing this. And I'm going to challenge anyone that's within the medical, that's within the scientific world to come here, to talk, to show themselves. Sonia, the very first time, I'm going to say dear to my heart that she announced to me, she said, would you be able to come? Today we were driving within this region. Yeah. And I'm going to say, me and Carleen, we felt like we were like the pioneers of this place. But I saw so much wonderful things, and I remember seeing the trees, and I said to her, you know what, this could be like the breakthrough adventure of a lifetime.
Really it is. This project is really cutting edge. Mm-hmm. There's an opportunity for any businesses to get involved. There's an opportunity for investors, for philanthropists. We see an amazing facility, exciting mm-hmm. and fun, educational, and at the same time we see 50-foot monuments. People mm-hmm. come to visit just even monuments alone to get an appreciation of what is here. We have a huge fish that would walk on his belly fins and chase mm-hmm. you on shore mm-hmm. 350 million years ago. We want to highlight this fish. We want to highlight the tetrapods. Yeah. We want to, as I mentioned, we want to build a facility where people can come and educate themselves and enjoy what we have here. This collection is seen nowhere else in the world, mm-hmm. and we really need to build this new facility. And I'm so happy to have SteveTV.tk here to support this, because, as he said, he's stepping in at ground zero to help us promote something that is cutting edge, world famous, world class, and it's really underdiscovered. And we're so grateful to be able to have you help us promote this. It's a wonderful project.
We are delighted, because we not only see the impact of this. This is showing to the world that there's a lot of great resources that are in Nova Scotia, a lot more than we could have ever thought about, which is on the socio-economical, social-cultural, social in many different ways it's going to impact. I'm going to extend the invitation to the Quebec Aquarium, to the Montreal Botanical Garden, to the Toronto Aquarium, to all the different aquariums that are within Canada, to come to visit us and to come to see this. Because what we believe is, just like months ago when there was fires in Fort McMurray, I saw within the same day the Premier of Alberta getting up and starting to help people, and she said, I'm asking all the firefighters from across Canada. And then that day I saw videos of firefighters going from one place to another, and I saw the spirit of Canadians saying, you know what, let's go Fort Mac, let's go Fort Mac. So this is what I'm going to tell you. We had, about 2 months ago, did the same for Fort McMurray. We would love, I'm even going to tell you this, we would love at one point to go to Fort McMurray and be able to show them some really good stuff, show them the faith. So let's work together to rebuild Fort McMurray, to build this world-class place, to make a difference. And I'm going to announce, since I've been so dearly touched coming here, this fundraiser and this global awareness will be part of our upcoming movie. It will be part of it.
That's wonderful. We certainly appreciate, and we'll welcome talking and sharing what we have here and the progress. I think that is very it's beneficial to everyone to keep an eye out for this. You know, this is our first launch, and I look forward to seeing where we go with this. It's a world-class site. You could be famous working on this project with us. So.
Lots of little fossil stories along the way.
I'd like to bring something that she just said along the way to compliment you. I remember that a few months ago, when we had started to create TV shows, one day I went to do an open house with Carlene.
Yes.
And then that day we were talking, and then she was saying, it seems that whenever we're putting houses for sale, I said, people don't realize what putting a house for sale means. And she said, what, really? I said, look, putting a house for sale, whenever you buy a house, you have a family, you have an economy, you have diversity, numerous things that are coming in. Whenever you have a beautiful home and a nice family, this is bringing something to the economy. Well, this is our family. You are part of SteveTV.
Well, thank you.
And you know what? What I look forward to on a regular basis, is this. Is to hear about the houses that are for sale around. To hear about the community. We're your exclusive, strong channel. And every time there is going to be something happening, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go through that forest. We're going to feature on camera.
Well, that's great. Well, there's lots to talk about here. Not only do we have the new museum project, that Paleo Center, that we want to, we say museum because we're used to this small little home-based museum, but we want to build an amazing Paleo Center here. But also, we have the capability of putting in eco-tourist cabins here, as well as this current building can be turned into a like a tea room and an artist guild for local artists.
Right.
The current house that we have here is set up, will be set up completely for a bed and breakfast and a lovely dining area, which overlooks the cliffs and out towards the Miners Space, and the view is spectacular here. So there's much that we can develop here, and we know that in the first year of putting this new facility in place, we can generate anywhere from $1.8 million to $2 million in a half-an-hour driving radius. Which gives back to the community, which puts back economic spin-off, and we're going to need to open garages and stock the shelves at the grocery store and put more accommodations in this area. So these types of projects are giving back to the local communities as well as to the wonderful fossil collection that really deserves this kind of facility.
You're very right. And you know what, Caroline? There could even be a project around that could either be like a little hotel resort, or so that people could stop at.
Yeah. Yeah,
Indeed,
exactly.
yes.
When they come to visit, if
There
you
you
get
go.
the word out worldwide, you're going to need more
Yes.
accommodations
Indeed.
to be able in
Indeed.
hotels.
And
Because
there's
the good news
wonderful-
is that when it comes to real estate through New Life, she's actually the one who's managing all the real estate. Yes.
That's
and so
wonderful.
you said you were going to say about the more accommodations and
Well,
stuff.
indeed, I mean, and in
I
fact,
think with the
with
mortgages
this
also.
property here, I own 9.5 acres.
Okay.
We've set aside the 5 acres for the new paleo center.
Right.
I still have 4 acres
Okay.
here, and I thought of the long-term need for what's going to be here. My husband and I, our family is grown now, and so we're going to downsize ourselves. But
Okay.
we do know that we can see probably up to 50,000 visitors a year once this new building is in place. And they're going to need lodging, and we want to offer them a nice place to have a bite to eat, and to see the local art and what the people in the communities, the local communities have to offer as well. So this is a very exciting little spot, and it's kind of like I think one of our RDA gentlemen said, this would be like the Disney World of the valley.
You're absolutely right, and I was going to add through this, we've started to work with vacation package traveling experts,
Yes.
and what we're even inviting you to do is eventually we'll be featuring for a certain fixed price, why don't you come for a week to explore this world-class site? Why don't you bring your children, you can go at the beach, stay at the resort, and on top of that, have your flight tickets.
Oh yes.
Nice.
Oh
There
yes,
you
you could
go.
put a wonderful package together. You know,
Yes.
it takes a small team to do this. Chris and I are at this point the 2 spearheaders of this.
We
do
are.
have a non-for-profit society.
We are.
But the mission is to secure that property and get that new paleo center done.
We are.
Yeah,
It's,
exactly.
We
it's
are
a
the
world-class
team.
site. We're sitting at
We
a
are the
world-class
team.
site, and I'm
Excellent.
excited to work with you folks.
Wow,
Good.
we're excited
We
as
are
well.
the
Yes,
team.
indeed.
Yeah, excellent.
So, before I close this chapter, I'm going to say, Carlene, it's time now. It's time to start to donate. It's time to make a difference. It's time to share. It's time to like. Because every time you're doing that, you're saying, I like my province. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Look at what we have to offer here.
Look at what we have to offer.
Yes.
Plus, the discovery on every day.
Oh yes.
As Carly helped me to realize, we have luxury in this province. These
And
fossils.
discovery.
Yes.
Discovery.
Yes. Now let's do something with it.
That's right.
Let's launch this project. Let's get
Let's do
started.
it.
Who's gonna
Let's do it. Let's do it. Put our hands together. 1, 2, 3. Let's do it.
Indeed.
Excellent. Okay, super.
That was. He's gonna take us.
I would have to take you, yes.
All right. How far is
Are you
it?
going to lock down?
So what you're looking at here, because we were talking about unique and world-class fossils, here's an example right here. It's a very small fossil of a horseshoe crab. This is the oldest of its species, and of course my husband and our colleagues wrote the paper on this horseshoe crab, and after 142 years they named this horseshoe crab after an individual, and that would be me. So I was very honored. They recognized me for my contribution and all that I've done for this fossil site, and they said, Sonia, you know, this is the very least we could do, because what you're doing, what you're bringing to the world, and preserving this evidence and highlighting it for the rest of the world to look at, they said, you truly deserve to have a fossil named after you. So after 142 years, the oldest horseshoe crab of the Limulina group is named after me, and it's called the Paleolimulus woodea, so I'm pretty honored. She's a beautiful little horseshoe crab.
Very nice.
Yes, so I'm quite honored. It's rare.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's amazing.
So I'll let
Horseshoe
the
crabs.
experts. Yeah.
Horseshoe crabs are soft-bodied animals. Their little shells are so thin and they contain no minerals, so they're classed as soft-bodied animals, and they're almost never preserved. So it's a small miracle that an undistorted body imprint was able to be extracted from the rocks at Blue Beach, 350 million years old.
Wow.
Its pedigree surprised us. We thought it was one of the more common kinds, and when we finally finished the analysis, it turned out to be the oldest limuline, as my wife said, and this fossil moved the origins of limulines back 40 million years further than they were understood to be before, from Illinois to Nova Scotia.
Wow, that's
Pretty cool,
amazing.
Wow.
Right here at Blue Beach. So there's lots to find. There's constantly new information showing up. You could be one to find something very important here and have it named after you. This is a world-class site. You've got to come. You've got to support us building that new Paleo Center. Tell your friends. Tell your school teachers. Come on out. It's a great spot, and we welcome everyone. Come and learn about Blue Beach.
Now, a question for you: like, have you had school groups coming in?
We
and
host
stuff
school
like that?
groups from the end of September right through almost to November.
Okay.
The end of November. We have them probably from April through till the end of June. Over the summer, we host kids camps, adult school students. We have university groups here. This is part of the educational mecca. Not only does it fall under the tourism and the culture belt and heritage, but educational departments see this as a very unique learning tool here within the province. So teachers are very excited and very keen on bringing the students here to learn about the importance of what's here. It's world class, and
Yeah.
nowhere else does this show up. So
Right.
having this is like the only #1 candle on the birthday cake. You know?
Thank you so much.
Many
Yes.
schools from Halifax coming?
Halifax,
Yeah,
we have
okay.
them from all over the valley.
Okay, excellent.
They come from St. Margaret's Bay. They come as far as they can. We've had students come from Liverpool, and that's a long trip for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the teachers would, if they could all bring their kids here, they'd be happy to do so.
Good.
Yeah, so
We've
it's
Amazing.
we've had Boston and we've had Ottawa and Ontario.
we've
Oh,
had
well,
them.
wow,
Yes,
yeah, nice.
People are targeting Blue Beach because
Excellent.
it's cutting edge, it's new,
Yeah.
and there's so much to discover here.
Thank you very
Amazing.
much.
Okay.
Our pleasure.
World-class exposure. It's a classic geological section, meaning it's perfect for study, and the first geologists who ever came here couldn't resist. They drove by in their boats, they had to get out. So it was one of the first places ever studied. But despite the fact that it goes back to at least 1841, understood as an important fossil site, it still waited until this last 20 years to start to show its true riches. It simply was not capitalized on, and intensive collecting efforts and the work of many individuals revealed this is a rich and important mother lode of information after all. So it's had obscure origins, but is now understood to be the world standard for the lower Carboniferous.
I'd like to thank him and at the same time show you something. You know, whenever we want to achieve something, what is it that we do?
Say what?
Like those ladies here. These are the pioneers of this place. Walking. So this is what you have to do starting today. For Blue Beach and the rest of Nova Scotia, walk, drive. Don't stop. Push the button, walk, drive, donate. Share, donate, share, donate, share, donate.
Let's build this project.
Because I'm going to add, Sonia is not going to stop driving, and Carlene are not going to stop walking until we reach the 10 million. Did you hear that, Nova Scotia? Until we reach 10 million, Sonia and Carlene are not going to start
We're
walking.
not giving up.
There you go.
What I want to show you right here is as we come under the train bridge, we have a lovely train bridge, and it's kind of what I call the portal to Blue Beach. When you drive under the train bridge, what we're facing right here when Steve turns his camera around is the property that we have set aside for the brand new museum facility. We have 5 acres. We're standing probably in part of the parking lot that will be put in here. And just beyond this little ridge right here of trees will be the gateway into the new Paleo Center. You'll be able to see a 50-foot monument of the beast of the basin, the large fish that was here 350 million years ago. There'll be ample parking for up to 50,000 visitors in the run of a year, so a huge parking lot will be in place. The amazing facility be here with trails, walking trails, a beautiful gazebo at the apex or the top of the cliffs once we approach the shoreline, where people that can sit and enjoy the view, the shore birds and the rising tides and such. Also, as we move along down through here, you're going to see the old freshwater saltwater marsh, which is a thriving marsh. It still hosts muskrats and owls. There's blue herring. It's a very, very thriving area here still, sitting on the mouth of the Avalon River in the Bay of Fundy. So not only do we have the fossils, again, as I mentioned, but we have other little attributes that make Blue Beach a really cool place to visit. So we're now approaching the trail, and if you want to point your camera that way, you'll see the beautiful trail walking down through here. We envision a beautiful boardwalk in place, instead of this old beaten down trail, which is quite cute, though it still needs to have something that will leave less of a footprint. So we thought maybe a nice boardwalk through here. Down to the right, and if you look through the old growth, is the mouth of the creek. What we see here is running a nice sloped boardwalk down in here, because the tide comes right up and holds the fresh water back. Maybe putting some small little boardwalks along where you can see the muskrat and the owls lodging and such. And also, when the tide comes in, we'll have little pedal boats in there for your children to enjoy, going around the little saltwater marsh and such. We have the old growth forest with a variety of trees, some of them probably about 300 years old, maybe a little older. They're huge. This forest is going to be protected as well. So there's just so much for people to enjoy here. We want to put in rock gardens and info panels, bird watching stations. We have a variety of birds here. There's a lot to see. So enjoy yourself while you're here, Steve.
Thank you.
Wrote Tim Hortons.
That's okay. You might
Maybe they'll kick it. Actually,
Challenge Tim Hortons, because this is called Hortons Bluff.
yes.
What is it?
Repeat?
Bluff.
This is also known as Hortons Bluff in
Hortons
geological...
Block?
Horton.
Okay.
Hortons Bluff Formation.
So
which
yes,
is
show your cup again.
It could be a.
We always have to We always have the time to donate for a place.
world-class fossil site at Hortons Bluff, the Hortons Bluff Formation. We'd love to have Tim Hortons, put a lovely coffee stand in here, so I wouldn't have to drive to town.
For every coffee, 25 cents donated.
Yeah, sure,
right?
sure.
You could even have it Tim Hortons.
Oh yes, a franchise right
We're
here.
going to organize radiotons, walkathons, webatons. We'll organize a webaton.
We will. I'm going to say goodbye, Steve, and I'm going to let you go with
Yes.
the experts. The reason I have to say goodbye is because, as you can see, I'm in a wheelchair, folks.
Yes.
And the road isn't accessible. There's good reason to fix this up so that people like myself, I own this beautiful property and I can't get down here. Maybe with the proper boardwalk and things that everybody should be able to enjoy this. This isn't just for Nova Scotia.
No.
Blue Beach is for the whole world to enjoy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter whether you're in a wheelchair or if you're blind or if you can't hear. We need to have this place set up so all people can enjoy this little piece of heaven that is here for the entire world.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy the rest of your trek, folks. Enjoy my husband. But let's build this and let's make it wheelchair accessible.
Thank you.
For everyone.
Let's just walk a little bit and show that. Oh, it's not the same as when you're...
Make sure to not just get a video, but get pictures too. Hi.
Yeah, I'm up to trouble again. How are you there, Doug?
Well, I'll do a little bit of
In the
both.
background.
I'll do a little bit of both.
Just do a picture.
I am
Okay.
doing a video.
No, not a video, just a picture.
Private property or cliffs.
Okay.
So this is important. Search and rescue needs this as
Right.
a place they come to when they need to get to the water and launch their Zodiac and her.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of
Okay.
those spots.
Interesting.
So the road is a public access way. So parties like wedding parties can come 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's really
Nice.
no